Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to As Far as the Eye, where today we're going to be starting a new game as the South Tribe. We're going to get this. I don't know exactly how much longer the series is going to be. There's a lot of stuff going on the channel. I'm very busy right now, so it's probably not going to be a ton more episodes, but I think we could do another game or two. I'm still very charmed by the whole thing, despite the fact that I do think our loss in the last episode was a bit of a bummer. I could have just tried to pack more resources before moving to the penultimate halt, but you know, with no idea what resources to pack, we're still talking about a lot of guesswork there. It's just kind of a bummer. Anyway, let's get in here and see what the next game holds. Okay, not a lot of choices to be made here. So here we need a trapper, and it looks like we probably already have a trapper since that's green. And then just wood and ore, and beyond that, fish and wood. And this is rainforest into ancient forest. And here we have ancient forest into big fertile lands. And it's all just wool and wood. I think we're going to try to go this way. This seems very doable to me. Alright, so pepkins and trees. I mean, honestly, we're not in a terrible spot as it is. There's pepkins right there. We might just put down, like, right here. Oh, yeah, wow, this is great. Let's just establish. Alright, so let's meet the crew. Here we have Pili, stone-skinned, fireproof, and a good gatherer. Naya, who will not gather spices and is a good stone gatherer. Wonderful, a wonderful thing to have. Brontes, the builder, who will not harvest from the caravan. That's probably not a big deal. And Flora, this pupil takes the place of the trade required in travel costs. Oh, interesting. So what I'm taking this to mean is that we always have whenever a travel cost calls for a particular type of thing, we just always have it matched no matter what. That seems pretty good, honestly. Alright, so we're going to need... Oh, I was thinking about this, and I had an idea. In order to help me keep the pupils straight, help me determine who's supposed to be doing what all the time, I think we're going to try coloring their bows a color that is related to their jobs. So, like, Pili, as a gatherer, is probably going to be doing a lot of wood gathering over the course of the thing, so we're just going to make Pili's bow a nice wood brown. Naya, who is probably going to be our stone gatherer. We have two people who are good at stone gathering. They can't obviously both actually do it. But for the moment, let's just color you... Like, what's a good stone color? We don't really have a gray available here. I mean, we could just go black. That's fine. It's a very dark gray. To match the stone. If you close your eyes, stone is black, so... you, as a builder... What is a building color? Builders are very important, so they get to be the best color. And you, I don't know what we'll do with you yet. Your bow is undetermined. Alright, so like I said, you are wood gathering, and everybody else is probably just scouting for the moment, right? So I don't know if we... Obviously, we're going to need more food, right? So far, we've been doing... we've been engaging in the more complicated food types, right? Having a pair of people, one of whom gathers cookable food and the other one who does the cooking. I was wondering, though, if it might be reasonable to have a society be mostly pepkin-based. Obviously, you're somewhat reliant on the map there, but if we were to make a harvest hut early and get our pepkin gathering, like, actually advanced, I wonder if that would be a viable solution. And I think part of the value of that is that it would scale a little bit more linearly. Right, like, you pretty much always want people working in pairs on the other resources, which makes it, like, kind of awkward to add a third person to food gathering. Wow, there are so many peeps around here. We are gonna have just so much wool. have you come back and get that pack beast. Oh, sorry, you can't. That's right. You won't gather from the caravan. Then you get to be the one who reveals the last tiles. And we've found some interesting stuff. We should probably check out the sacred site. Why don't you come and do that? Let's see what they might ask for as an offering. Okay, so what do we want you to be doing right now? I guess you could help with the wood gathering, actually. Yeah, we're gonna need a lot of wood early on. Okay, so offering of wool is like very doable. And then we have some remains and stuff. We may as well search these out real fast. Alright, Brontess finds with ease the mirror standing proud in the center of the stone structure. They approach slowly and see their reflection. However, the background environment is not the same. The reflection is in green grasslands as far as the eye can see. The reflection waves to Brontess, inviting them to follow into a bright, joyous, and wonderful place. Brontess doesn't hesitate and steps through the portal to join their reflection. The pupil goes through the portal to join their reflection and leaves the tribe. Wow. Okay, so what we've learned is just don't ever search remains. I think that's the only reasonable... Jesus. That's a very bad one. Okay, so Naya now... Well, we're not in any hurry to unpack the camp. Jeez. I mean, I guess I ought to anyway. We're gonna need to bring on another pupil as soon as we see the next caravan. I guess we're spending food less quickly. The loss of the builder does hurt. But fortunately, we have our chameleon. Alright, and... Actually, you know what? We should probably have Flora be building. Flora is probably now the tribe's builder. So Flora should have unpacked that, really. Okay, so we're going to need a mobile pasture. I think that is probably the case. So we need stone and ore to make that work. Where are my building resources? We have ore here and here. Stone there and there. Boy, these are all kind of awkward, huh? How much ore is in each of these places? Oh, it turns out we will probably not even exhaust these deposits. All right, you go work on that. You help with the wood gathering, I guess, for a minute. Boy, in addition to that being very mechanically inconvenient, what an extremely spooky thing to have happened. Okay, we're also going to need a quarry. How much stone is this? 688? Okay. So we're probably going to need both of them to gather stone for a little bit here. And it's certainly not a bad thing to have two people in the tribe who are good at that. Alright, so it's not a ton of resources, right? Yeah, in fact, we're almost there already. Okay, where do we want to build this? Probably, like, here? I don't want to overwrite Pepkin that close to the caravan, although, honestly, it does not matter. Yeah, let's go ahead and do it there, because, like, look at all this. We're going to be just fine. And given that we have a relatively small number of people to devote to the task, maybe the task of gathering food, maybe we do try a harvest hut strategy. So we would need 40 wool in addition to the resources that we have now, which I guess is your job. Oh, a friendly caravan. Where is the caravan? You should go say hi to them and see if we can recruit somebody. They want fish. We do not have fish. This is very inconvenient for me. And we're not really going to be able to get fish either. Well, I guess it's just the three of us for a while. So do we want to give them stone for potions, or do we want to just take study materials? I don't think we're going to be able to craft our own potions for a while. This might be an important thing. Wait, really? Didn't I tell you to do a thing? Alright, we probably actually need you to go gather stone now, because I spent our stone, but it's definitely worth it. Yeah, so we need one cart of stone, and then we'll be ready to put the thing up. Alright, and you don't get XP on the more complicated specialized jobs when gathering from the caravan. So you can see Pili has not gained any progress toward fruit gatherer or woodcutter. This will mean we can actually get specialization here, which gives us access to. It can reduce the amount of food that Pili is working, or that Pili is eating, and we can get a little bit of food reduction on everybody by just having them do enough basic gathering. And then you could also pick up, can transform 100 pepkins into 100 rations. That doesn't seem that great. Or just -3. I mean, right, rations and pepkins are consumed at the same rate, so that doesn't necessarily seem. I mean, it does say it's affected by the efficiency bonuses that you get from being a cook, but I still don't know that that is worth doing. We might just take the permanent eating reduction. Okay, so why don't you go and work from here? You go and work from here for a little while. And you come and mine stone, because we probably have enough ore for a while. Alright, so let's figure out what's next. I mean, obviously we're going to need a lot of wool here. I guess probably what's next is we just gather wool for a nice long time here until we hit the amount we need to move on, and then we figure other stuff out afterward. Yeah, wow, we are gathering pepkins very quickly. That seems quite effective. And we have so many pepkin tiles around the harvest hut. This is not taking nearly as long as I thought it was going to. Alright, well there's our 300. So, what else do we want to set up? The bakery, I believe, has a recipe that allows you to cook pepkins plus spices into rations at a pretty good rate, right? So that might be a thing that's worth considering. Also, we could just get a dispensary set up. We're probably going to need spices for something eventually. So we only have one mobile building, two mobile buildings right now. So we definitely have room to pack some more on. Yeah, let's do it. I guess just like anywhere that's adjacent to a single tile of spices is fine. I would really love another recruit. And we should probably have some spices. Let's get some spices together. We need to get a little bit more wool now to leave, but I don't feel too bad about that. Collapse is just a random building, loses a bunch of health. That's annoying, but there's nothing we can do about it. So do we think you're gathering enough pepkins? You're gathering for all of us, so maybe it would be best that we really dig in on that. As much as I do want additional sources of knowledge, I think we gotta We gotta make sure this is gonna keep everybody fed. Oh, a friendly caravan. That is wonderful. Okay, we'll deal with that in a second. A grower 1. Yeah, sure. No cost. Absolutely. Welcome aboard. Go forth and grow. And as you are a grower, your bow should probably be white. I think that makes sense. Unfortunately, one of the mobile buildings is the one that got damaged. Do we have the resources to fix it? Yes. Oh, Naya has become a better stone cutter. This might not be a bad time to pursue a knowledge thing. We don't usually need stone quickly. Yeah, I'm gonna take a knowledge thing. Alright, being back up to 4 people is definitely helpful. Okay, we are going to need more wool. Or more wood, rather. Are we food positive with 4 people? Uh-oh. We might not be. No, we're not. We're not with only 1 person working on Pepkin gathering. Okay, so you gotta go over and do that or we're gonna starve. Can we upgrade this in a way that will be helpful? Oh, yo, that's awesome, actually. Okay, that part, I don't know about that. But yeah, -1 turn on the gathering cycle is probably huge. So Spiritual Feast is Sacred Sites. Okay, so actually, can Naya interact with that in time? Do we want to make the offering? I mean, I don't want to pray. Let's make the offering. Okay, a friendly caravan arrives. I guess that's... did it? Where? Where did it? I don't see a caravan. I guess just go back to this. We probably have enough stone. Maybe the caravan will arrive soon? There it is. Yeah, it arrives at the beginning of the next turn. That makes sense. Okay, we cannot bring more people on right now. We cannot do any of these things, actually. Wow. We did not get a very good deal for our 200 wool there. Wait, I told you to do this. Alright, so we shouldn't have any problem getting back up to the amount of wool we need. Okay, that's bad. So we need to leave in 22 turns. And honestly, we're having a lot of food problems. Like, we are definitely going to have 2 people on food. Yeah, that sucks, man. I don't want to have 2 people on food. That doesn't leave us with a lot of hands to do other things. We're about to have a wildfire. A random forest caught fire. Probably not actually a big deal. Naya is a miner. You know what? You're gonna produce knowledge through mining as well. We do have a lot of knowledge to work with. Okay, yeah, not a big deal. So it's looking to me a little bit like it may just not be viable to run Pepkins. Well, you know what? We're very food positive now that we have 2 people on it, and it would have been 2 people working together to produce food via any of the other resources, so actually maybe it's fine. It's just it feels bad because we would expect to have 1 more worker right now under normal circumstances. We may as well stay in as long as we can. So +1 movement when carrying fruit doesn't really seem valuable. Just eat less. Okay, so you are carrying 15 pepkins. And you are carrying 45. You know what? I will endure 1 turn of drought. Okay. And then we will leave. Our pack beast has a real weird shape. Okay, we're not actually bringing that much stuff with us to the next halt, which is maybe a good thing and maybe not. So we do have to bring 300 food for sure. And then... boy, what else do we need? It's very awkward that these are shaped like this. I mean, we don't necessarily need wool, but we don't know for sure that there will be wool where we're going either. Maybe we want to do like that. There's got to be wood. I'm not going to stress about fitting 12 wood onto the caravan. I think it might be like this. It feels like not a lot of resources, but we just don't have a lot of resources other than types of stone to bring along. Yep. Alright. Wool and wood. And then from there, we're going to need just a huge amount of pepkins. Yo, what the hell? 1,100... Why? Why is that a thing? Okay, well that sucks. That's a very large number. So really, we just need to settle near some wood this time, and we have a harvest hut to deal with our pepkins for us. That said, not seeing all that much wood around here to settle near. Okay, that helped a little bit. This is not actually harvestable. So... if we put down right here, we're within 1 tile of 3 forests. With a total of, like, 700-ish wood. And then we can build a sawmill if it turns out we need more than that. I think that's fine. Okay. We got a lot of remains. Just a lot of stuff. Alright, let's, first of all, get you unpacking the camp. Get you unpacking... Actually, we don't know where we need to unpack stuff yet. You know what you're going to do is just gather wood. And then you two are going to scout, because we don't know where we want to put the gatherers, the harvest hut yet. But we don't have very long. We have like 10 turns. Actually, no, we don't even have close to 10 turns. We need to be gathering considerably before 10 turns is over. Alright, you're gonna come home and... no, you're gonna check the sacred site for me. We are gonna have to come up with a new strategy. Because there's not really any pepkins to be had here. Alright, I guess let's... are you almost done with that? Yeah. I'm gonna have you just gather pepkins here, actually, for a moment. And you're gonna work on wood gathering. You are going to... okay, that was weird. Please don't unselect my person while I'm making decisions here. Yeah, we have a fair number of pepkins there. Our food situation is definitely scary, though. So, the next place is going to be a Sacred Lakes halt. Do we have much fish here? We do, actually. We have a lot of fish here. Okay. I think we gotta start a fish food cycle going. The pepkins just aren't going to be good enough. Alright, so you're going to get up here and gather from this. You're going to come down here and gather pepkins from this until I feel like we're secure. And it's... boy, yeah, it's going to be a little close. Right, you just returned the pack beast. You... I guess we need somebody to set up the pasture. You know what? You gather pepkins from here. You should go set up the pasture. So, right here, probably. And we have to just not use a lot of wool. Because, boy, there's not a lot of wool. Friendly caravan has arrived. You know what? You should go say hi to them. Never mind. You should go say hi to them. You... Okay, yeah, that works. Now, we don't have anybody actually gathering wood right now, but that's fine. Ida and Mo will not join us because we do not have 250... Man, we're getting some real bad luck on the pupils. Well, we certainly don't need more knowledge, so I'm willing to make this trade. And then you're going to gather wood for a bit. All permanent buildings lose 50 HP. Okay, that's nothing at all. So, alright, what would we need to get fishing going? We probably, sadly, don't have enough room in our caravan for for 2 more buildings. But, you know what, we could buy size upgrades to the caravan. That's not a big deal. So if we wanted to do mobile fishery plus mobile cookhouse, we're looking at 100 of everything except minerals, and then another... Okay. So we're going to need more wool before we can do that. There is enough wool to do that and still build up the 400 necessary to leave. So I guess for right now, just keep doing what you're doing. I don't know, maybe the pepkins are fine, actually. Well, I guess let's just keep everybody doing this thing for the moment until we have the 400 wool necessary, and then we'll figure it out from there. Wildfire is potentially a bummer. We'll see. It may not end up mattering. And if anybody takes fire damage, we have plenty of potions to maybe dig them out of it. Maybe these guys will be a little bit more friendly to recruiting. Okay, so you were working there. Yeah, smart. Just redirect. It's fine. A Gatherer 3. I would, in fact, like the skills of a Gatherer 3. Flood. Buildings adjacent to lake hexes lose... That's not ideal. Oh! Right, a 5th person is going to necessitate additional housing. Well... We can probably just take this for right now and not spend the wool on the other thing. Because boy, oh boy, do we have knowledge. And then I have every intention of buying this, so we may as well just go ahead and do that now. And then we might buy additional vertical lines too. We'll see. Oh right, new guy. What's your deal? You cannot construct buildings. Exchanges with a friendly caravan cost 50% less for this pupil and grant 50% more. Interesting. And you are just a skilled gatherer. So, let's have you be a slightly different shade of brown? Is that going to read as different to me? That's a tough one. I mean, it's probably fine. So you come over here and do this. Which means you could be doing something else. So we probably don't need... It is probably the case that 2 gatherers is good enough. We're not gonna panic and go fish, I think. I don't know that it's worth the resource expenditure. We have a whole thing going already. Boy, what do we want to do with Naya then? We don't have permanent stone gathering buildings, and we don't really have the resources... Or we don't have mobile ones. We don't really have the space to build any mobile ones. So probably what I do is just have... I guess just keep on that for right now. We'll have Flora build you something to mine from. But like, do we even need to mine? Do we benefit from mining? Because how much of this are we going to leave behind, right? I think we might just be moving on from this one pretty quickly. We need to stockpile a ton of pepkins, though. I guess that's what we're doing. We're stockpiling a ton of pepkins. Do we want to build another harvest hut? Because there's pepkins here, and here, and here. So harvest hut there. Yeah, you know, that's not a bad idea. Probably this one's just a permanent one, though. I don't know that we want to bring 2 of them with us. Alright, those forests burned down. Not a big deal. Okay, let's have the skilled gatherer. Return those. Oh, right, I have to figure out something for you to do. I honestly don't know. We could put up the dispensary and then gather spices, I suppose, although we don't really have a lot of good spots for it. And we could build it over this, that's fine. Or go unpack this dispensary for builder XP. Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. All of that's fine. We should probably repair the camp, though. Alright, engineer level 2. I think we're probably going... I don't know that I care that much about construction costs. We're not going to be building that many more buildings, are we? Maybe it's repair costs. Oh, that's very cheap. That is not a problem at all. And then obviously we don't care about the HP of this building at all. Okay. I guess gather us some spices? And yeah, mostly we're just like aggressively pepkin harvesting. Because we want to bring a lot of pepkins with us. So part of bringing a lot of pepkins with us is going to be... reduce the size of the stacks of resource by 1, but also reduce the amount present in these stacks by 50. Isn't that... I mean, it's going to be... Is that even good? I honestly... Okay, optimization is good. We probably want to do a bunch of this stuff. This is what we want to use all of our knowledge on. So it's probably better to buy more space in the caravan than it is to optimize, because this gets us so many more spaces, right? But we're going to be able to do more than just that by the time we leave. Jess is now a herder, level 1. You know, we usually have enough... We're usually not time crunched on wool. Why don't you create knowledge per wool cycle? Gonna get fog. Oh, the fog is... Right, the fog is the major thing. Pupils have -1 sight range. Each turn, explored hexes become unexplored. I could see that being a little annoying in terms of just requiring you to micromanage your pupils a lot. Do we want to build a sawmill? Nah, I think we'll just have Flora gather some wood from the caravan here. I guess one big advantage of this Pepkin thing is that it doesn't require us to spend a ton of wood every turn to cook, which could be relevant, maybe. Oh, do I want to move the... This harvest hut has run out of nearby Pepkins. I guess... Yeah. Is it worth it? It must be. Alright, and we'll just hang out for a minute here and hopefully be able to bring along most of the resources that we pull out of the ground here. And we're all just gathering lots of XP, which obviously is very valuable. Okay, so how ugly is this going to be exactly? Our buildings themselves provide some vision. It's pretty bad, actually. Apparently they don't. Apparently the fog will just run right up adjacent to things. Okay, how many more turns do we want to stay here? I'm going to buy this. And then we're probably not going to be able to produce enough knowledge. We may or may not be able to produce enough knowledge to actually get the thing done here. To be able to buy another upgrade. Remains discovered. I'm not searching them. I do not care. Ooh, damaged path. Okay, we should probably leave before this takes effect. Okay, we delivered one more stack of Pepkins there. Alright, let's get out of here. Alright, interesting. So... yeah, and we don't have enough resources for another one of the upgrades. Or not enough knowledge. Okay, so our goal here is going to be the maximization of Pepkin space. How are we gonna put these buildings together in the most effective way? Like, this isn't bad. So let's try to bring all of the Pepkins. We can cram 2 in here. Yeah, it's not actually better. We may not even bring any of the spices. Frankly, I set the building up more to get the XP on our builder than for any other reason. And then we can bring 200 ore on this beast. Actually, we might be able to, just carry almost everything. We have a lot of carry space. We're going to have to leave some wool behind, probably. This is too much wool. Do that. And then I'll take the other 2 pepkins. Look at this. Look at the size of them. Can we... I might be able to optimize to bring these spices with us. Let's see. If I move you over to here... We'd actually have to leave a lot of something behind, probably. Okay, we can do this. I think I'm okay with it. I think that's fine. Alright. So we still can't see the final root resources, which makes me very scared. Well, nothing for it. Alright, let us find... This is very annoying. Okay, it's a stone prevention aura, but remember, it still makes all other resources in the area half as efficient. We just need to find a lot of pepkins. This area is not terrible. It's quite a large map, so I have to imagine we'll be able to put it together. Okay, there's a fair amount of wood right here. I might just settle down right here. Yeah, this is cool. So, Flora needs to get the camp up and running. Naya is the stonemason. Naya can scout. Hunky can just gather a little bit of wood real quick. Because there's not 2 pepkin tiles real close. Yeah, so you'll do wood while Peely does the pepkins that are right there. And Joss will help us scout until such time as the camp is prepared. Boy, there's a lot of meat. How many turns are we looking at on this? 2? Boy, it's so hard to know what we're going to need. We do not actually see much in the way of stone or ore, do we? There's a little bit over here. Yeah, so if what we end up needing is either stone or ore, we might be in real bad shape, as we have been in the past. I guess... Jeez, I don't know. I guess get over here and start working on wood. Alright, engineer level 3. I think we're in this place. Alright, and then you need to figure out where to build the harvest hut. So we have a couple of pepkin spots over here. Gee. You know what? We might have to start eating meat or fish just to make sure that we don't eat so many pepkins that it makes it impossible to finish the area. I think that might be the case. That's definitely not where I wanted to be. But okay, it's doable. Wait, we found a pack beast. Why don't you go and collect him? Well, hold on. Let you finish what you're doing there. You should get the pasture up. Here seems fine. Okay, shake does not matter. So, we might well be looking at... it's so hard to know what we're going to need. It's probably a fishery. If we're planning on doing this, there's so many fish on this map. Yeah, okay, so a permanent fishery... It's not too expensive, but, like, is it safe to spend the ore? Without the ability to see what the cost is to get to the final node, it's actually pretty difficult to know. Oh, this is an unexplored area over here in the corner. We should probably solve that. Okay, another source of stone is nice. Some more pepkin. Okay, permanent buildings lose 50 HP means nothing to me. This is not awesome. But probably it's better for us to just repair than it is to try to pull stuff up, and because it'll be very disruptive. Okay, so we got a lot of birds and a lot of fish. I do think we should probably try to get a fish thing going just to preserve our pepkins. Because we're still eating them at an incredible rate. So the question is, do we know what the next node is? Lakes. So yeah, fish is probably right. So what I was going to say is, do we want to build them as permanent structures? But I think we want to do mobile. When is this? 5 turns? Just an inconvenient number of turns, really. I guess let's build the cookhouse first. In a place that's not adjacent to anything. So this is stone and wool and wood. Okay, this would require us to get some stone. Well, let's build a permanent quarry. Then, do we have any other sources of stone? We have this, which is 300. Right, you know what? We're just gonna... Who cares? Who cares if this permanent building loses HP? Throwing caution to the wind over here. Alright, you come and harvest stone from this. And you start working on that other stuff. So let's get the cookhouse up, and it doesn't really matter where it goes. This is a place where I might want to build the harvest hut later. So, this will work. Oh, right. You need to go and do this. Maybe. I don't actually know if you need to do that. Alright, we have a lot of repairs that need doing. We're going to have a lot of problems here. I can already see. These repairs are going to be wood expensive. We don't really have time for people to be working on wood. Friendly caravan has arrived down there. Let's have you meet up real quick. You know, I could, at this moment, actually kind of use a Trapper 1 skills. That is a real thing. I know, an extra mouth to feed, but... Okay, that's not a big deal. What is your bow color? I guess the birds and the fish that a trapper interacts with are both blue. You will be a nice blue. Okay, so your job is going to be, for right now, wood gathering. Oh, right. We need housing to make that work. So amnesia is an annoyance. I mean, I probably want to pick this up. Let's just buy as much stuff as we reasonably can. As much stuff as will actually be useful. Oh, I want some of this. Yeah, we might even... Oh, I have to pick one. Shoot. Well, I don't... Boy, really? That's a very expensive upgrade for it to be one resource specific. Like, to the point where I don't know if that's actually what I want anymore. Maybe. Alright, what are we going to be taking with us that's important? Actually, the answer is probably rations. Alright, we also want to repair this one. This one's pretty important. I was kind of hoping we might make a little bit more knowledge than we have made as the amnesia approaches, in the hopes of buying that. Okay, we can get something that costs 500, and we totally should, because we should not just lose 500 knowledge. It might be 2 backpacks. Could be vision for the caravan. It's gonna be 2 backpacks. Okay, so we're going to lose almost no knowledge to the amnesia. That's nice and efficient. Alright, can we build this fishery now? Let's put it right here for the moment. And yeah, I think it's plus 1 HP regeneration per turn, sadly. Alright, and as soon as that's built, then we get on this thing. Okay, you can return that wood before we do that. I think you're just going to go over here and help gather some wood, because now we're going to need more. Where is this? Hold on. Don't we have somebody whose job it's supposed to be to do this. That person's doing something really important right now, though. Yeah. Alright, you know what? You're gonna go meet with them. So we can't do any of this stuff. Yeah, never mind. And you know what? You're the cook. Go forth and cook fish. I said, go forth and cook fish. I feel like Naya's forgetful. Like, quite forgetful. We might want to build a gatherer's hut. Another gatherer's hut, because we are having now some issues with travel time. If we're pulling pepkins from over here, we also need to be soothing. Alright, I guess let's do that. Flora, come soothe this thing. I'm not particularly good at soothing, but we don't have anybody who is. Alright, so you channel that for a second. Hunky is Fruit Gatherer 2. Buildings adjacent to mountains. Good news on that one. We really don't have to worry about that. Okay, we now have fish and rations coming in. Right, you come over here and work from this, and you just have to be available to soothe this thing every now and then. Which is not ideal. And we have to eat no more pepkins. The ration thing has to work, and it's totally not working. We are not producing enough rations. Ah, bummer. Alright, Joss, you are a woodcutter. Flora, you are also a woodcutter? Because now we have to power the oven, right? Yeah, man, do we need a second fisherman, maybe? Maybe that's the thing I should do. Maybe I should build a permanent fisherman's hut somewhere else. Because I'm a little worried about the fact that we're not even producing the amount of rations we need to live. Yeah, okay, hold on. Maybe... And it's because we're fish limited. We're running out of fish. So where would be the best place to put... I mean, there's a lot of fish around. Where would be the best place to put another thing? It would probably be... trying to figure out a place where we aren't going to need to run quite so much. I guess this is not bad. This gets us those two... Yeah. And plus, that keeps Flora nearby, so Flora can re-soothe this aura whenever that needs to happen. Okay, all mobile buildings take a ton of damage. Grand. Not a lot we can do about that. Okay, yeah, this doesn't really seem any good, but just, like, eating less? Eating less seems fine. Let's lower repair costs again, because we're going to need it. Alright, you help bring in enough fish that we can be cooking all the time. So am I allowed to preemptively... No, I am not. We cannot begin soothing until the aura is back. That's a real bummer, actually. We should probably pick this thing up and replace it, but actually there's nowhere to place it over here. We can't really get much closer. We could put it here, which I guess saves probably 2 turns of movement each time you want to gather, so it's worth doing. But it's not good still. Ah, you're a tinkerer, that's right. Shoot. Okay. You should be able to soothe this, shouldn't you? Oh, okay. I see. That's weird. So if you interrupt the soothe early, it still does a partial soothe. You get some of the duration. Yeah, obviously we don't want to do that. Okay, and then you get back to fishing. Okay, well, I mean, we're getting through it. Okay, we're gonna we're gonna have to resoothe. Right, that's the one where... Oh no, that's the sacred sites. I don't care so much about that one. Okay, when we're bringing in enough fish, the oven is producing food fast enough that we are not eating any pepkins. Just barely, though. Okay, we have the resources to leave. We could just go. Obviously, the fact that this... Oh, okay, you can check here. You just can't check there, which really seems like that's not the way that ought to work. Okay, so stone and wood. And my guess is that amount of stone's not going to be a problem. Or that amount of wood's not going to be a problem, but we do need to bring as much stone as we can. Okay, so... We have a couple of stone things. Yeah, we definitely need it to be Naya. So Naya comes down here and works the stone. You are now the cook. Go forth and grill some fish. Alright, we gotta pack up as much... We gotta mine all of the stone out of here and then pack up as much of it as we can and bring it over. And we gotta do all that without running out of pepkins. Which we may well be able to do as long as we continue to cook fish. A nap. Okay, that's not a big deal. Wow, that didn't take long. Alright, then we need a new quarry over here. And that's only like, yeah, it's only 300 stone, so it's not ideal. But we'll take every bit of the stone that we have here with us. Which means we can't repair any of the buildings, actually. We need to be very, very careful about our stone expenditure. Okay. This one's more annoying than anything else. Wait, who did I miss? Oh, you, yes. That's true, I did not tell you to do the thing. Oh, that's bad. Alright, and then I guess as soon as we hit the stone we need, we probably leave here because we want to spend as few resources as possible, right? I think that makes sense. And we can increase our ability to carry stone. Okay, this one's not a big deal. That's just a single turn of repairs that has to get done on something. I would like to bring more wood over. You know what, actually, we probably just stay here for a while and have the... Once the pepkins are out, we have the gatherers just gather wood at the caravan for a little while, because we want to bring a bunch of wood over too, right? Alright, what broke? Okay. That's not a big deal. Alright, you probably have enough time to do one load of fish before we have to resoothe. Thunderstorm incoming. Lightning burns forests and jungles, damages buildings. Pupils can't collect wool because the peeps are too scared. Alright, Stonecutter level 2 is a real good one. Preservation is a big deal. Was it this one? Huh. Looks like we have all the pepkins we need. Okay, rodents coming for the... Okay, so we have to leave before this. We have way more pepkins than we actually need, but we also don't have time to get anybody else onto anything else. Yeah, we basically just have to... Alright, I'm not going to worry about it. Oh yeah, you should fish. We're going to get this last load of stone in, and then we're going to go. Okay, did you clear it out? You almost cleared it out. We're moving over with quite a lot. We don't have a lot of wood, but there will be wood. I think we gotta go now. Okay, so... Oh, hold on. Cancel that. We want to spend some knowledge first. So we have all this stuff. We're trying to truck over a lot of pepkins and... Okay, so... Reduce the size of a stack of resource by 1, but also reduces the amount of resources present in these stacks by 50. So on food, this is going to take you from transporting 33 units of food in a in a square to 25 units of food in a square. That seems really bad. But in conjunction with this, it could get better. It seems just very bad, is the thing. Give me more stone per stack, and then also more stone per stack, honestly, like... Right now... Doing that took us from 5 stacks of stone to 4 to transport all of our stone. Doing it again would still leave us at 4. So that's not worth doing. Pepkins. We're gonna have about 900 left. Yeah, it might be pepkins. Okay. And I don't think it helps us to bring a backpack. All right, let's go. Let's do the thing. Let's get out of here. Okay, so we don't have to bring the dispensary, honestly, if it turns out not to be a valuable thing. We probably should try to bring the rest of these buildings, though. Boy, this one's an awkward shape, though. Alright, so... You can carry 1 stack of stone, you can carry 1 stack of stone. Optimizing for stone is the most important thing at the moment. Alright, so that's almost all of it. We probably don't need the extra 26. Then we want to make sure we bring a lot of food. Do this. Of course, this isn't one of the shapes that exists in our, whatever. We probably don't need the spices. We'll bring all this wool, though. Do like that on you. Then it's just like bring a lot of food. We can even bring more wool. That gem's in there. Fish is this shape. So actually, that works just fine. Yeah, and we're leaving behind almost nothing. Alright. So, we need to find 220 stone, which is a single stone deposit. And we also need to find quite a lot of wood, but, you know, wood is a thing that exists in lots of places. And we have a great big map for it. I think we're going to be okay. We are totally going to be okay. Alright, so you got to mouse over the path to see the remaining... Okay, I got it. We got it. You know what? Let's just finish it. Let's just finish it right here in this video. So, we just want to put the caravan down near a couple sources of wood. Honestly, the spot where, like right here, seems fine. Yeah, I'm cool with this. Alright, let's get to work. So, first, you are going to lay out the camp. We're going to scare off these very fine birds, so we cannot make use of them anyway. We're going to have Peely and Hunky start gathering wood from the caravan, and then scouting for everybody else until such time as we are prepared to camp. There are a few sacred sites. Oh, right, you're super good at that now. Let's also set up... Boy, what matters? The pasture is probably unimportant. We have 400 wool. I guess the harvest hut? And then we're going to want to... Honestly, I don't know if it matters. I was going to say we're going to want to soothe some stuff. But maybe we don't actually care. Alright, do we actually see a stone deposit anywhere? I think we don't. We do have some ore over here. We could build a mine and then buy the upgrade that lets you get stone from it. We have enough resources that we could probably trade for 220 stone without much difficulty. But I don't like the fact that there isn't just stone anywhere. We also have a number of... Aha! Okay, good. And yes, that is enough. Okay, cool. Why are you running all the way out here? You know what you should do? You should go get that pack animal. You should run all the way out here. Okay, you're actually just outside of the area of that, which is lovely. And you know what? You're going to do this scouting while you build the quarry that we need. Oh, you, the trapper, can just come back home. I don't know that it matters too much what you do. These are just fine fish? Oh no, this... Okay, this one has normal fish. And there's a lot of fish around, but there's also, like, there's auras on all of them, which is annoying. And also, I don't really know how much I want to be fishing. Like, if we can survive on the food we brought with us, that would be best, because I don't really want to burn wood, right? Okay. So you should return that, and then get to the stone. I guess we should just check the sacred sites. Some of them may just give up resources that we need. Nope, not this one. You can check that one. You are to gather stone. This doesn't actually help us. Yeah, okay, we don't care about any of that. Oh, people are about to nap, which is annoying, but not anything more than annoying. Okay, wood. Alright, that's inconvenient. What are these sacred sites thinking? Not offering us anything we want. Alright, you should be searching these over here. There's no aura on... Oh, there is an aura. Yeah, okay. Hold on a second. Soothe this. It is actually affecting our wood gathering a little bit. Boy, they all just give wool. Sure, I guess. Where is the friendly caravan? I guess just go meet them, and then you, on the way over there, or after you meet them, you can investigate that sacred site, and you can set up... Oh, that's right, we had a packed up... Well, I didn't need to build that. Whatever, it's fine. Do I want to build a sawmill to ease the, Yeah, you know what? Let's go ahead and do it. Let's build a sawmill right here. We can do some additional wood gathering on this side. Yeah, sure. I'll do this. Okay. Nothing of value on this sacred site. Damaged path for... Really? Really, though? Must you? Yeah, that could be phenomenally bad. Damaged path always seems to be, on these later ones, searching out the things that I am most afraid of. Alright, you know what we're going to do? We're going to set up our mine. Sorry, unpack. Oh, no, we didn't have a setup mine. Okay. We're going to set up a mine here. We're going to buy it that gets stone upgrade, because I bet we're going to need it. And you can start cutting wood from this. Okay. Alright, we're running out a lot of wood. I mean, it takes a lot of wood to run a team here. Absolutely buy that, and then you should not be the one to actually do it, though. Boy, individual tiles don't have a lot of wood on them. Those are remains. We are not searching random remains. That's a really bad idea. How much stone is left here? 188. Yeah, I'm real worried about this. I guess just go gather wood. I mean, some of you are going to be running a really great distance to gather wood. This is a harvest hut, right? We should move one of the fruit gatherers over to this, because we are starting to run out of food. 1170 is not that bad. And we have the resources necessary to do some trading. We have a whole bunch of ore, and ore trades well for stone, and we'll get even more, like, it's probably fine. That's this one. This one does need to be resoothed, unfortunately. Everybody's doing important stuff, though. You know what? Let's have you do this. And then after that, I'm gonna send Hunky to just gather pepkins from the caravan. Because we do need to remain okay on food. Oh, right, sorry. It takes several turns of soothing for the soothing to actually stick. Alright, shake is annoying, but nothing worse than annoying. Okay, now you're actually done. You know what? Honestly, we might actually be totally fine off of this. Right, because this is actually going to gather as 150 more stone. So yeah, we're totally good. Thank you very much for your preservationist skill. Like, it turns out this stuff is absolutely crucial to victory. You just have to have somebody who has the good stone and ore skills. It's way too important to neglect and just hope you won't need them. And I think we have enough pepkins coming in now. Yeah, we're not in any danger. Okay, I believe that's it, right? We win? Let's bring as many buildings as we can. Why not? It really doesn't matter at this point, but why not? Yeah, and like this, and then like that, and then bring some pepkins over here. We'll bring the same 200 ore that we've been trucking along since the very beginning of the game. Bring all this wood. You know, the people at the eye, they probably need some wood. And a little bit of stone. And some more pepkins and these fish. And obviously potions. Everybody loves a good potion. There we go. All the resources. Whew. Alright. That was definitely a little bit scary. But I figured out how to actually look ahead. Should not have been terribly difficult. And I'm really glad that we have now cleared that. I'm embarrassed that it took as many tries as it did there. So we've unlocked a whole bunch of new traits. Let's see here. Pupil gains less experience, but the same amount of knowledge. Does that mean they gain knowledge equal to the experience they gain? That could be worded a little clearer. 25% more resources from remains in sacred sites. This pupil's tribe cannot pray or make offerings. Wow, that's the whole tribe, huh? That's a powerful one. That's a powerful negative. Cannot work during the major vagary. That's not a big deal. You usually bail before the major vagary starts anyway. This pupil harvests way harder during the major vagary. That's interesting. Only has 1 health point, but gains 2 additional positive traits. Why is that the icon for that? Some sort of long-tailed lemur or something. This pupil can walk on lakes. That's pretty great. And vagaries have no effect on the building this pupil works in. Those are some interesting traits. I think it's really interesting that you unlock traits instead of, like, new starting conditions or anything. I mean, I guess we also unlock new starting conditions. Or do we? Because that didn't... Huh. So we don't get the "you have not unlocked this tribe yet" text. I'm assuming we could play as these guys. But it is weird that it didn't... Probably when I load up the game the next time, these locks will properly be unlocked. But that is going to be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching. I'm so glad to have finally made it through to the end of that. When you come back next time tomorrow, I think we'll do like 1 more of these. So we will begin our final run. And we'll see you then.